You're listening to the groundbreaking community stream.
Hi, this is Q live and direct from Delhi. Welcome to the episode 16. If this is the first time you're listening to the podcast, don't forget to subscribe. The episodes are also up on YouTube. You can check them out. And if you've been listening and have some feedback for me, you can shoot me a mail mentioned in the podcast description. For this episode, we have Rishav Kumar, who is a transportation designer and an automotive futurist who has worked for brands like Honda, Volkswagen, Peugeot, Volvo, and Polestar. He has been very successful to make an impact in the automotive design world and inspiring a lot of people who are in the process of learning mobility design. We'll be talking about his journey, his unique process, and basic approach towards design. Welcome to the stream, Rishav. How's it going, man?
Thank you so much, Deepak. It's really nice to finally be here after all the scheduling problems. But it's it'll be a nice podcast. I
Yeah,
am really excited. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's a Friday there. What's up? How's your schedule like these days?
Mm. Yeah, I just quit my job, and so I'm really excited to go back home now and start this new journey, which awaits. And yeah, I'm really excited that I made the decision that was needed to take, and we are progressing with it. So
Awesome.
cool.
Yeah, great to hear that. Yeah, man, it's been
Yeah.
we've been trying to record this podcast for some time now. So yeah, I mean, let's just talk about your schooling, your life growing up. Where did you go to your primary
Mm.
school?
I am actually from Bihar, but my dad works in Odisha. So I had this really weird transition of speaking hum and transitioning that to man and to. So, and all the children were like, "Yeah, मैं क्या कर रहा है बकरा जैसा." So, so yeah, that transition was nice, and yeah, basically I did my schooling till 12th in Odisha. And when I was in 11th, I got to know about DSK from one of our seniors from game design, actually. And he introduced me to the world of design. And I mean, I used to sketch cars, and I didn't know that there's a career I could make from this. And he introduced me that there's something called transportation design, and you can sketch cars all day and get paid for it. So that was really that was a really nice encouraging moment for me. And yeah, and
So yeah, you
it's funny that in yeah.
yeah, you had an idea about design before you started studying design, for example. Because I've been
Yes.
this is like the first question I usually ask about their schooling, and did they
Mhm.
have an idea about design when they were in school, and a lot of them were just clueless. So yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
great to know that you had some
Yeah,
clarity.
I mean, I have a funny story. Like when I came to know about DSK, I was in 11th standard, and I was so eager to get into DSK. I went for the entrance exam before even passing 12th, and I gave the written test, and there was time for it, and it was time for the interview. And I came into the room, and there was Mandar sitting, and Mandar was like, he asked me a few questions, and then he was like, have you passed, have you even passed your school yet? And I was like, no, I still have 1 or 2 years. And he's like, first pass your school, get 60% marks, and then and then come for design.
Oh, okay,
So
okay. So, yeah, what were you thinking? I mean, before even.
I was so eager to join. I was like, anyway, school marks don't matter for design schools. So I thought they would just take me after 11th, and I didn't have to finish my school. But but it was a nice experience to at least know what design exams are like. We have no idea, and we just know through an ID and stuff, which is like logical thinking questions and reasoning. But then DSK's exam was so design and art based that that really attracted me towards joining DSK.
Yeah, so while you were appearing for it, you had an idea about, or maybe you dipped into design a bit, or the process that where you were going to study, or what you were going to study.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't really know what was required in the portfolio. I just thought some the portfolio to enter an institute. So I just asked around a few people I could find on Facebook that, hey, I know you are studying there. Could you help me? And some people were kind enough to let me know that you just need good sketching skills to enter an institute. And after that, you learn for so and for like what goes into design. Yeah, so I just had a portfolio with like A4 sketches of cars and bikes. And when I entered DSK for the admission test, I saw people with artworks, huge A1 size papers, and I got nervous like, damn, what am I gonna do? I just have lame sketches with me, and these guys have come with their lives work of dance and art and whatnot. So, but then the interview went really well, and they encouraged me that okay, you are in the right direction. Once you join, we will guide you, and that really gave me confidence. Like, yeah, it's a good choice. Go ahead.
Yeah, how was it for you? How was the initial years? I mean, was it struggling for you, or maybe you were kind of ready for what was there to come?
Till my third year, when we had the change of HODs, and I faced a lot of problems because the new HOD that had come. I won't take the name, but we all know who it is. And mostly the whole senior batch had left DSK, Nikhil Sortes batch, and everyone had left DSK, and that was not so encouraging for us. And it was hard for me mainly because I didn't follow what the trainers really wanted me to do. They were training us for Indian market, but my vision was more towards what's happening outside and what other students are doing internationally, French students, German students. And he was constantly, I think he was deliberately trying to fail me so that I don't, so that I somehow I realize that what I'm doing is wrong. But there were a few, like just one trainer, George, who believed in what I was doing, and he really encouraged me that saying, you do what you feel is right. Don't bother by what others are telling you. And when I had the third year portfolio review, the whole jury almost made me cry on stage. They were so brutal. They were like, you won't get a job in India. You won't get a job in US or outside of India. But then here I am. So, so yeah,
Screw the haters.
yeah. I mean, the main turning point for me, I would say, was when I was sending my portfolios to all the professionals. One of the designers at Porsche, he gave me a feedback that all of my work in my portfolio is not pushing the envelope of what's there outside. Like engineers can create cars, designers have to create the future. So that really shook me and made me question, like, am I doing right what I've done since the last 3 years? But I did not lose my hope, and I did a project that's called Pristine, which got me Move Award and opportunities in um, like companies like Volvo and Audi and those things. So yeah, I mean, third year was a really turbulent year, I would say, of learnings and applying those learnings.
Yeah, man. I mean, definitely such phase can create a lot of self doubt, and always can can push you to stop, or maybe push you to even quit. So yeah,
Hmm.
definitely a tough phase to be in. So while you were applying for these internships, you had a clear idea where you wanted to apply, or maybe the kind of
Hmm.
segment you wanted to go in.
Yeah, I mean, initially my target was to get into luxury brands like Rolls Royce, Bentley, and Mercedes and all. But then later on, I realized that these things are very pretentious. I mean, I'm not saying other designers who work there are not doing the right stuff, but just what I'm saying is the market of these brands is so niche that they don't really impact the lives of people. So later on, when I learned and I did so like what various kinds of projects, I realized that my interest was more into like futuristic electric vehicles, shared vehicles, stuff that really impacts the world outside, and it makes you realize that okay, you're doing something good for the world. So that's what made me realize in from third year to fifth year.
I think you initially worked at this place called Lunatic Concepts, where I think
Yes.
did the project you mentioned. And I
Yes.
think, yeah, let me tell you that it was definitely an inspiring one, and we all
Yeah. Thank you.
love the final result. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
even few of our classmates were there and were
Yes.
doing like crazy stuff.
Mhm.
What was the process like there, or maybe how did you come up
When
with such brief?
the it's a really funny story how I got into lunatics. Um, in the end, me and my batchmate Advait were the only ones who had left in the institute. Others had gone to Strat or something, and we were the only ones who were looking for internships. So both of us had applied at Mercedes to see color material team in Pune, and once they replied to DSK that are these guys available for internship? And at that time, I was having conversation with Cero Design in Spain. It's a bicycle design studio, and so the HR of TSK told them that okay, Advait is available, but this guy is not available. He's going to Spain. So they were ready to offer both of us internships, but they ended up offering just Advait because college told them that he's only available. So I was left with no options since I didn't get the visa. I couldn't get into Mercedes. And I just emailed Lunatic Concepts chief, Abhishek Roy, that see, I don't have any options left. I would even agree for an unpaid internship. So he replied me that no worries, man, just come in. I'll give you a space to work, and you just help me with a few things around, and you'll just have your own way. And it was a really small studio in Mumbai. And when I went in, I cried for a week that where am I? Like I was going into these companies and I couldn't go, and I ended up here in an unpaid internship where and things didn't look good for me. But the best part that happened was this guy gave me so much freedom to do whatever I wanted, and he didn't ask for anything in return. He was like, I'm going to give you a space to work, I'm going to give you air conditioning, food, everything. And don't bother about the other things, just focus on your work. So, yeah, I mean, it was something, this project was something I wanted to do since a long time, and I got the time and resources to do it. And yeah, it just took like 2 3 months to finish the project, and I just applied for Move Award, and it got the first prize and another. So basically, it got two international awards, and the one got me into Volvo. Yeah.
Super man, dope.
Yeah.
Even I was having a conversation with Saina, then he was also managed to crack an award, a mood design award. So, I mean,
Mhm.
what was the approach while you were maybe fighting for this award, or maybe what was your mindset, the
Mhm.
kind of maybe the process you were, or the basic approach you were following to kind of crack this award?
Since you mentioned all these guys who had won before us, like Mario and Sainath,
Yeah.
so this gave me an idea that the project has to be in line with future of mobility. Like it cannot be anything. It has to be a vision. It has to be reasonable. It has to be delivered in a way that it competes with the international market. And this project was not intended to be submitted for Move Award, but later I found out that it fits to the brief, and so I just submitted uh, the project, and it bagged a prize. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything, but when I got the shortlisted, and then they were like, "We can offer you to come to Italy for the prize ceremony." So that's when I thought, like, okay, they are calling me, so it means I won. So, so, so I got to know a little bit. I got the hint a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, I'm damn sure that it definitely gave you a lot of wisdom and kind of a validation where to kind of
Yeah.
push you and like give you a pointer that okay, maybe you are in the right direction. So how was it?
Mhm.
How did that internship go? I think it was at Volkswagen, or was it at Volvo, the move award?
The Move Award internship was at Volvo. So it was a 6 months internship, like any regular internship. But the great thing that happened there was um, they were separating Polestar and Volvo at that time, and they saw that my style really suits Polestar brand. So they straight away like detached me from Volvo, and they were like, "Now you're going to be a part of Pollster." So that was I think I got lucky that I entered the brand at such a point that they were just separating and creating this new startup called Pollster. And yeah, it's always nice to be a part of a team that is like the foundation team of such a brand. And I will always be grateful to the people who decided that I was capable enough for this. Yeah.
Yeah, and before that, I think you managed to work with Volkswagen. How did that
Mhm.
go? Because a lot of
Ah,
applies there, and like kind of
yeah,
companies are confused about what kind of portfolio should we make to kind of
yeah,
get a place at Volkswagen.
yeah. For Volkswagen, I didn't really apply at Volkswagen. I had in Instagram this trend of posting the work had just started, and I had posted like a few of my projects, like Pristine and a few Bugatti bikes and whatnot. And one of the interior designers managers over there saw my work, and he DM'd me that we have this internship available at Volkswagen. Are you interested? So I didn't reply to him for a few days because I thought this is a prank. Because I had never heard someone approaching over Instagram for a job or internship. So I really thought it was a prank, and I didn't reply. So I found that guy on LinkedIn. I saw that okay, he's actually a designer at Volkswagen. And then I replied to him that okay, I can come. But yeah, I think I got lucky with the work permit situation, because since a lot of our seniors have faced that issue, and still people are facing issue with to get a work permit.
Yeah.
But I think Volkswagen managed to get that for me.
Awesome. And how was the work like that? And was it the first abroad experience for you?
The first experience was at Honda Bangkok, Thailand. So what Honda did that time was So yeah, Honda does this workshop everywhere where they select 10 students from Asia, and from DSK, 3 students were selected, and it was just a 10-day workshop, intense workshop at Honda. That was my first abroad experience, but it wasn't really a learning experience. We were at Bangkok and we just had fun.
Yeah. So how was the process different than maybe what you were studying in the design school when you went to
Mm.
Volkswagen?
At Volkswagen, I learned how you can be professional, and you have to be professional because throughout we were students for 3 years, and suddenly you go to a huge corporate brand and you have to learn all the basics of being a professional, that you cannot behave like a student. You have to behave uh, like a professional who cannot say particular things, who cannot do particular things. And yeah, I mean, I think I was the youngest in the team, and everyone treated me like a kid. And it was fun though. But uh, yeah, I mean, at Volkswagen the hierarchy is so much that it's hard to be recognized, I would say. There are so many people and it's a huge brand, but it was a nice experience, I would say.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, uh, s- one thing I've noticed in your work is basically the kind of style you have, right? And and again, I really wanted to ask you about maybe what was this thing, or maybe it was that consistent motivation to kind of build your own style, right? Because again, it's again very different from the traditional automotive design we see out there. So
Yeah.
how did that maybe
Mm.
style came, or maybe you always had this idea about, okay, maybe this can be the next big thing?
Mhm. I mean, I was constantly trying to come up with my own style because our our industry is so competitive and everyone is doing the same thing. So you have to stand out to be seen by the industry that okay, this guy exists. So it took me a lot of trial and error, but eventually when I was in France and we were doing this workshop with Infinity. Infinity had come into our college that saying ki we are looking for a new brand language, and you guys can explore doing any project you want for the brand. And I ended up doing like a architecture vehicle merger project. And during that project, I found out that it's really interesting to have a merge of different design languages together, like industrial design. What if cars were and architectures were inspired by industrial design? And what if it was fashion design? So that really gave me a new perspective of okay, it doesn't have to be a regular design language that everyone follows. So that project really, I think, was the initiative project that got me recognized in other industries that this guy has this particular style. So after that, after that, the brand that suited most was Polestar for me, and they saw that they can use this design language to promote their own design language, and it got better and better eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I see your work and see a lot of futurism and urban design into it, and which is definitely eye catching, and you want to like dive in more to understand about it.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
do you think that maybe being at Polster maybe elevated it more, your style, or the kind of experiments you were?
Yeah. Mm. Yeah. I would give them a lot of credit for wherever I am right now, because they really understood what kind of a designer I am. Because I didn't have a single car in my portfolio. I didn't have exteriors. I didn't have interiors. I just had flashy, futuristic stuff. And the head of design, Maximilian Missoni, he understood that he cannot give me common projects that everyone is doing. He has to give me stuff that where I can excel, and he can use that for the benefit of the brand. So in the end, we ended up doing projects like O2, Pollster O2, and Pollster Precept. So it really went off, and they really knew how to use my skills for the brand. So that was really nice. And yeah, I think I'll be always grateful to them for giving me this chance.
Yeah, I think what there's one more thing I've noticed with Pulsar is that they always kind of pushing their identity in on the social media, and kind of does this design contests where
Yeah.
a lot of students gets a chance to try their hand in Polster. What do you think are they are trying to do?
Yeah, the main idea for these competitions is to give students a platform to, shine, because these huge brands, I think what separates Polestar competition from other competitions is the way they reward the students, because they give them such a platform for exposure, and they make models, they make digital models, they make animations. They have them in motor shows, they have them in China, all over the world. So, and yeah, I feel it's a two-way thing. It makes the brand popular within students, and then it makes the student popular within the industry. So it's a two-way road.
Yeah, yeah, definitely love what they are
Yeah.
trying to do here. So
Yeah.
we recently saw this O2 project, which was definitely groundbreaking
Mm.
from a lot of angles. You wanna talk about it a bit?
Yeah, sure. This project was initially something else, but so only one guy was working on it, Maxime Celeria, and then yeah, it when it became an official Pulsar project, then other designers and I was brought in to help, like, develop the design, make details, and then come up with the idea of drone. But initially, I was skeptical about the drone because some of the brands have already done it, like Porsche and Audi, and they have already used this idea a lot. And even in student projects, you see this so many times. But the our intention with it was to find a such a cool way of the car and the drones interaction that it has never been done before. And they really understood the market they were targeting, which is the future influencers and future um, uh, powerful people. So they understood that these people will need something that would help them spread their word even more. So a car with a drone is the next big thing, I would say. So yeah, I mean, the response in the industry was amazing, and everyone loved it. So it was really nice.
Yeah, must have been exciting to work on such a project, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can also I also see that you've spent some time at Peugeot Design.
Mhm.
Again, let me tell you that it's one of my favorite brand, and definitely love what they do. How was it for
Mhm.
you, and what kind of project you were doing there?
Mhm. I had just finished my Volvo internship, and they had this Peugeot summer class where they select students, and we have a one month of intense workshop with interior, exterior, all the teams for one week. And I had just come from this Scandinavian design and everything, and then I came to Peugeot, and it was so poetic. Everything has to be artistic. Everything has to be derived from forms and stuff. So it was a nice and exciting journey for me to explore that after this clean and cut design language.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was really interesting, and I think it made me learn a few things more. And yeah, hopefully I get to work more like that.
Yeah. Again, after this Peugeot experience, you went back to Polster.
Yes, they gave me a job offer right after my internship was finished, and yeah, I told them I'm gonna take a break, do my internship at Peugeot, and then I'm gonna come back. So yeah, so
Yeah.
they understood like okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, again, converting your internship to a full-time job is something everyone tries to do. What was your approach to kind of making sure that okay, why not I maybe spend full time here and maybe learn more? What were the things you were doing right to get that place for you?
Uh, for me, it was more important that I get to continue what my vision was for the industry, and I felt that Volvo and Polestar were supporting that more because these brands were too really forward thinking and practical stuff. So it really gave me encouragement that okay, I have a brand that I connect to, and it would really help me go further. And it did. So I'm glad that I stayed in touch with these guys and I went ahead.
Yeah. Um, so yeah. Uh, yeah, I mean, you as we have mentioned that your style kind of disrupts you from the traditional design and what has been what they've been doing. So
Mhm.
how did you maybe come across this process of, or maybe this style, or maybe while you were constantly sketching you were asking this question, oh, maybe this is not something I want to go towards, or was the feedback the reason of maybe following this process?
I felt I had to find a design language that would do justice to my vision of the industry. And it was a constant trial and error. Like I tried with watercolor painting, I tried with Photoshop, I tried with 3D modeling directly without even sketching. And eventually I found out that my designs and my visions were getting more justice when I got inspired by industrial design products and minimal shape stuff. So that's what I decided for myself, that this should be the direction that I take forward.
Yeah.
And luckily that became the norm and the future of the industry itself. So I think I got lucky that I decided the same thing that the industry was deciding.
Yeah. So what was the what was the consistent motivation, or maybe something that were constantly pushing you to maybe try different mediums, as you've mentioned, trying
Yeah.
painting and kind of trying different tools to create what you were thinking?
Yeah, I mean, whenever I used to do these futuristic projects, when I was trying with different mediums, they didn't help me communicate what I had in my mind. And for these futuristic projects, it's very important to visualize them in a way that it helps people connect with it, that they can envision themselves in that scenario. So practical design with industrial shaping and integrating people into those designs, that really helped me. Like whenever someone would see my scenario, they could instantly imagine themselves in that picture and living in that space. Because I had an interview with Tesla after my internship at Volvo, and I was applying for a job over there, and they said like that's the thing that they loved about my work, that I gave importance to space. And whenever they would look at my render, they would know that okay, this is how it would feel if I touch this thing. If I was in the scenario and I was touching around and sitting in the sofa or whatever, it would they would know exactly how they would feel. So it was for me, it was really important to make the visuals relatable so that it doesn't become just something like an art piece. It becomes something like a fact. Like people know that's how it is. Like I don't want others to interpret my work. I want them to know what exactly I have in my mind. So I think that's what really helped me.
Yeah, definitely. Basically,
Yeah.
kind of creating moods and
Yeah.
feeling out of your work.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, very very well said. I mean, I definitely love the expression through your work for sure. Um, yeah, I mean, what were the things at these amazing design jobs or maybe design spaces? What were the constant thing maybe were which kind of motivated you or maybe helped you give that validation of moving forward and constantly creating, as I see that every other day you're creating something and putting out there on the
Mm.
media.
Mm. My intention of creating something every day was not to get famous on Instagram or have followers or stuff. It was mostly about spreading my vision of what I have in my mind. Even if I was getting 5 likes per post, I would still post every day. So my intention was more about, hey, this is my vision. If you like it, come join me, make stuff with me, or uh, start imagining stuff like I do. Because what I observed was people were making all these gloomy, futuristic stuff with wires hanging and lights blinking. And I questioned myself why, like, because the way we design stuff now is what will be in future. So why do we keep making stuff gloomy and dark when it can be colorful and it can have life into it? So that constant urge to make people see that this can also be the future. Don't just make dark stuff. So yeah, so that really encouraged me more that I should make stuff that make people dream of the other side.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely makes sense, man. It looks a lot dreamy sometimes, and again, constantly give us an idea about what you're thinking or what's there out there. Awesome.
Mhm.
So, what's next for you? What's coming up? As you mentioned that you've quit your job. So, what's next?
Mhm.
What are you planning to do in the next
Uh,
maybe?
yes, for me, my priorities have changed a bit. For me, right now, my personal life has more value than my work life. So my decision of changing, like leaving Polestar, was not because I didn't like the company or I had issues with people. It's not at all that. It was mostly because I need mm, more personal life than my work life right now. And I think I have devoted a lot of my life towards work throughout college and throughout like 6 7 years till now. And I feel it's a right time for me to engage in different things right now. So yeah, my plan is to move to US, where I have most of my family and my girlfriend is there. So it would be a nice change for me to work from US for a good brand with my family. So I would really love to do that.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun plan.
Yeah.
All right, so that takes us to the last question I wanted to ask. That again, I've come across a lot of people who admire your work and kind of themselves are kind of working towards that goal. What are the
Mhm.
basic message you want to give them, or what maybe the conclusion message to the people who are hustling. And again, in past couple of years, as we know that the everything has changed, the state of work has changed, even the ideas and the users have changed. So what are the pointers maybe you wanna give them?
Uh, my only my only message to the newcomers would be that don't take things too seriously. Do what you feel is right, and don't. I always go with this mantra of maje. I always keep spreading this, even to foreigners, that maje means to have fun.
How did that come? How did that come up? Even I forgot to ask.
uh, yeah, that was maje came when I was in third year and I was struggling to get my work validated and to get good feedbacks. And then I realized that maybe I'm punishing myself too much. And I just found out that don't take things seriously, just do what you feel is right, and things will get in place eventually. So that was something I still believe, that hard work is never wasted and it always pays in some way or the other. So just keep doing what you feel is nice and don't worry about anything.
Awesome, Rishav. I mean, yeah, that it's been a really great conversation with a lot of insights, and
Mhm.
thanks a lot for doing this.
Thank you so much.